please join us in prayer. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou amongst women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now and at the hour of our death. Amen. Saint John Paul the Great, pray for us. Saint Genesius, pray for us. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen. Welcome, oh, welcome to our show. Welcome, oh, welcome to our show. We want to show you now it's a wonderful life. Enjoy the show. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Before we start the show for thee, we gotta tell you a few things like no photography or cell phone rings. Enjoy the show. Welcome to John Paul the Great's production of It's a Wonderful Life. Before we start the show, we do have to go over a few things. First, we ask that you turn off all cell phones and electronic devices right now. Kindly take a moment to do that. Thank you. First, and also, we do not permit any flash photography. The aisles will be used by our actors and actresses throughout the show, so kindly keep them clear. Behind you on your right and your left are exits to be used in the event of an emergency. So lastly, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. So go on, sit right down, and we'll take you around town. Enjoy the show.
Whatever.
Hiya, bird.
George? George?
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Wouldn't do what?
For what you were thinking of doing.
How do you know what I was thinking?
We make it our business to know lots of things.
Look, whatever you're selling, I'm not interested. Please, just leave me alone.
No, you don't understand. I've got a job to do here.
I said, leave me alone.
This isn't going very well. But you said this was going to be easy. But he won't listen. I know. At first you don't succeed. Blah, blah, blah. Have you ever read Tom Sawyer?
What?
Now there was an industrious young man, and when the chips were down, he never gave up. Do you remember why?
Who cares?
It's because he kept thinking about others, George. Not about himself, but about all the folks who needed him.
You called me George. How do you know my name?
Oh, I know all about you. I've watched you grow up from a little boy.
How could you? Never seen you before.
Well, you haven't needed to till now. How's the lip? Look like it stopped bleeding?
That's the answer I got to a prayer a little bit ago.
Oh, no, 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 George. I'm the answer to your prayer.
Who are you?
Clarence Oddbody, AS2.
Oddbody. AS2? What's that AS2?
Angel, second class.
Now I know I've lost my mind.
Oh, well, not yet, but you were well on your way. That's why they sent me down. Besides, it's ridiculous to think of killing yourself for a measly $8,000.
How did you know that?
I've been trying to tell you, George. I'm your guardian angel.
Well, you look like the kind of angel I'd get. I'll give you that much. Sort of a, fallen angel. What happened to your wings?
Oh, well, I haven't won my wings yet. That's why I'm an angel second class. But you're going to change all of that.
I am? How?
By letting me help you.
Only way you can help me is to get me $8,000 before the clock strikes 12. After that, my life turns into a pumpkin.
Sorry, but we don't use money in heaven.
Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting. Well, down here, you can't live without it. And if the truth be known, I'm worth a lot more dead than I am alive.
Now look, I told you, you mustn't talk like that. I won't get my wings that way. Besides, you don't realize how much you're worth. Why, if it hadn't been for you...
If it hadn't been for me, everybody I know would be a lot better off. Everyone. Oh, my wife, my kids, my friends.
Well, you sure have got a lot of friends, I'll say that for you. Why, do you know that they've been jamming our airwaves for over an hour now?
What are you talking about?
Where? When their heartfelt, they're mighty powerful missiles. And the ones for you,
George. Daddy.
why, they've lit up our whole celestial system.
Why? How?
Because you're such an important influence on so many lives, George. Always have been. Just like Tom Sawyer.
Oh, since when?
Well, ever since that day you saved your little brother from drowning when he fell through the ice.
Oh, but that was instinct. Besides, I was only 12.
Open, get this together.
There were other boys that day. Some of them older, stronger swimmers. They didn't bow to their instincts. Only you did.
He was my brother.
I know, but what about Mr. Gower when you saved him from ruin? That wasn't instinct. That was courage. Deep-seated and wrenched full of guts courage.
But he had just received a telegram telling him his son had died.
And he turned mean through and through from drowning his sorrow in the bottle. Remember?
George, are you out there? I'm sorry, Mrs. Blaine. That medicine should have been there an hour ago. I promise you, it'll be over in 5 minutes. Where's Mrs. Blaine's box of capsules? Why didn't you deliver them?
I couldn't.
Why couldn't you deliver them? What kind of tricks are you playing, young man? Don't you know Blake? What? Are you sick?
You hurt my sore ear, Mr. Gower.
You lazy loafer!
Mr. Gower. Mr. Gower, you don't know what you're doing. You put something wrong in those capsules.
What are you talking about?
Mr. Gower, I know you're unhappy. You got that telegram today, and it upsets you. I understand that, but you put something wrong in those capsules. I swear you did.
How do you mean?
Just look and see the bottle you took the powder from. It's not right. I swear it isn't.
No, no.
Don't hurt my Sawyer again. Oh, Mr. Gower, I know how you feel. I won't ever kill a soul. Hope to die I won't. Mr. Gower.
And you never did. Not to this day. That's remarkable.
He's always cared about young people. Gave lots of us our first job.
Well, he never stopped caring about you, that's for sure. Do you remember that handsome suitcase he bought you when you thought you were finally heading off for college?
Oh, that was 1,000 years ago.
George.
Congratulations, George.
May you always use it in good health, George.
How can I thank you, Mr. Gower?
By graduating with honors. That would make us all very proud.
Yes, fat chance.
Lay you a bet, little brother.
Haven't got time. I'm off to my dance. How do I look?
Like a goon in a penguin suit. Where's the funeral?
Oh, that's enough, you two.
Ooh.
You look very nice hair.
Of course he does. It's my tux.
And what's your verdict, Aunt Tilly? Do I look good enough to eat?
If you lay a hand on me, young man, I'll hit you with this purse. Oh, dear.
Aunt Tilly, I'm in love with you. Let's go in after that.
Harry, Harry, that is enough.
Hey, Mom, I gotta borrow the car. I have to take over a lot of plates and stuff.
Whose plates?
I'm chairman of the Eats Committee, Mom, and we're short a couple of dozen plates.
Harry, Harry, you cannot take my Sunday china. That was my grandmother's and my mother's very Bailey.
Oh, we're all gonna miss you, George.
Oh, thank you, Violet.
Say, that's some dress you got on there.
What, this old thing? Why, it's just a hand-me-down like Harry's.
Well, it sure is pretty, isn't it, George?
What? Oh, the dress. Yeah, it's real nice, Violet.
Well, I guess I better be off. The dance starts in another half hour. Why don't you, drop by later on?
I just might do that.
Hope you do. Goodbye, George.
Want Ernie and me to walk you over to the school?
Oh, well, that will not be necessary. Take care, George.
Yeah, you too, Violet.
Come on, Ernie. See you around, George.
See you guys later. Oh, say, Dad, what are you doing later?
Sorry, George. I have to finish up a special report for Mr. Potter at the board meeting tomorrow.
I thought when you put him on the board of directors, he'd ease up on us. What's eating that old money-grabbing buzzard anyway?
Oh, he's a sick man, George. Sick in his mind. Sick in his soul. If he has one. Hates anybody who has anything he can't have. Hates us. Mostly, I'm afraid.
After you graduate, you wouldn't consider coming back to the building alone with us, would you, George?
Not me, Uncle Billy. I couldn't face being cooped up the rest of my life in a shabby little office. I'm sorry, but the thought of spending all my life trying to figure out how to save 3 cents on a length of pipe, I'd go crazy. I want to do something big, something important.
Well, you know, George, I think your dad and I feel that in a small way, we are doing something important. It's deep in the soul of a man to want to own his own roof and walls and a fireplace to sit beside on an evening. And we'd like to feel we're helping him get those things.
But Bill, you've got to admit that in this town there's no place for any man unless he's willing to crawl to Potter. Now you've got talent, George. We've all seen it. So, go on. Get yourself an education. Get out of here if you must.
Say, have any of you what you want to do, George?
Sure, I want to build things, like skyscrapers, maybe even cities. It's been a dream all my life.
Still after the first million before you're 30.
No. But I'll settle for half that in cash.
Well, your Aunt Tilly and I are sure going to miss you.
And I'm going to miss all of you, that's for certain. Here, do you mind taking us up to my room? I think I'll walk over to the school and drop in on Harry's dance.
Oh, have a good time, son.
See you later, Dad.
And you did too. Remember? That was the night you met Mary Hatch. Of course, you had known Mary all your life. She grew up 3 or 4 years behind you and was always there, tagging along, somewhere in the background, until one of you boys noticed her and sent her on her way. But that never discouraged her. Not her nor any of the other girls. They all had their eyes hooked on you, especially Violet and Mary. You just never took the bait until Harry's graduation party. You danced to Charleston all night with Mary Hatch. Until someone tripped a rock on the moving gym floor, and everyone fell. Or jumped into the swimming pool.
Buffalo gals, can't you come out tonight? Can't you come out tonight? Can't you come out tonight? Buffalo gals, can't you come out tonight? Dance by the light of the moon. Hot dog, just like the church choir.
Beautiful.
You should have seen the commotion in that locker room. I had to knock over 3 people to get this stuff we're wearing. I bet over half your class jumped in that pool.
Half the town said it wasn't a good idea to build a gym floor over a swimming pool. I wonder who turned the key.
Probably someone jealous because you chose me to dance with you.
You think maybe?
Oh, here, let me hold that old wet dress of yours. There we go. Hello.
Hello. You look at me as if you don't know me.
Well, I don't.
You pass me on the street almost every day.
Me?
Uh-huh.
That was a little girl named Mary Hatch. That wasn't you.
Do I look as funny as you do?
Well, I guess I'm not quite the football type. You look wonderful. You know, if it wasn't me talking, I'd say you were the prettiest girl in town.
Well, why don't you say it?
I don't know. Maybe I will say it. But, how old are you anyway?
You can't ask that.
Well, I am.
18.
18? Why, it was only last year you were 17.
Too young or too old?
Oh, no, just right. Your age fits you. Yes, sir, you look a little older without your clothes on. I mean, without a dress. You look older. I mean, younger. Sorry.
Sir, my train, please.
A pox upon me for a clumsy lout. Your caboose, my lady.
You may kiss my hand.
Mary.
As I was lumbering down the street.
Okay, then. I'll throw a rock at the old Granville house.
No, George, don't. I love that old house.
No, you see, you make a wish, and then you try and break some glass. Got to be a pretty good shot nowadays, too, with so many windows already broken out.
No, George. It's full of romance, that old place. I'd like to live in it.
In that old place?
Uh-huh.
I wouldn't live there as a ghost. Now watch. Right there on the second floor
What'd you wish, George?
Well, not just one wish, a whole hatful, Mary. You see, I know what I'm going to do tomorrow and the next day and the next year and the year after that. I'm shaking the dust of this crummy little town off my feet, and I'm going to see the world. Italy, Greece, the Parthenon, the Colosseum. And then I'm going to go to college. See what they know. But then, I'm going to build things. I'm going to build airfields, and I'm going to build skyscrapers 100 stories high, and I'm going to build bridges a mile long. Are you going to throw a rock? Hey, that was pretty good. What'd you wish, Mary?
Buffalo gals, can't you come out tonight?
Can't you come out tonight? Can't you come out tonight? Buffalo gals, can't you come out tonight? And dance by the light of the moon. What did you wish when you threw that rock?
Oh, no.
Come on, tell me.
If I told you, it might not come true.
What is it you want, Mary? Do you want the moon? Well, just say the word, and I'll throw a lasso around it and pull it down. Hey, that's a pretty good idea. I'll give you the moon, Mary.
I'll take it. And then what?
Well, then you could swallow it. And it'd all dissolve, see? And moonbeams would shoot out of your fingers and your toes and the ends of your hair. No, am I talking too much?
Yes, you are.
Who's that?
Why don't you kiss her instead of talking her to death?
What?
No, Ernie, you just wasted on the wrong people. You're telling me. Just wait.
Hey, come on back here, Bert. Ernie, I'll show you some kissing that'll turn your heads around.
George, come on over quick. Your father's had a stroke.
Huh? Mary, I'm sorry, I've got to go.
Hurry.
Did you send for a doctor?
Yeah, careful there now.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found. Was blind, but now I see.
It was nice of you to come, Mr. Potter.
Well,
I'd say your father was the building and loan. Here in Bedford Falls, George.
I agree, Mr. Potter.
Of course, he wasn't much of a businessman, and that's what killed him. Oh, I don't mean any disrespect, George. God rest his soul. He was a man of high ideals, so-called. But ideals without common sense can ruin this town. So that's why at the next Board of Trustees meeting, I am going to make a motion.
A motion?
That's right. A motion to dissolve the institution and turn its assets and liabilities over to the receivership.
But, Mr. Potter...
Take this loan application to the board to act on this morning. To Ernie Bishop. You know, that fellow who walks around all day, delivers our mail, usually late because he's always talking to everyone on his route. Well, I happen to know that the bank turned down his loan. But he came to the building alone, and we were willing to build him a house worth $5,000. Why?
Well, I handled that, Mr. Potter. You have all the papers there. His salary, insurance, and I can personally vouch for his character.
Oh, he's a friend of yours.
Yes, sir.
So if you shoot pool with the manager's son, you can borrow money. And what does that get the building alone? Nothing but a discontented, lazy rabble, instead of a thrifty working class. All because a few starry-eyed dreamers like your father to stir them up and fill their heads with a lot of impossible ideas.
Just a minute. Just a minute now. Hold on, Mr. Potter. You're right when you say my father was no businessman. I know that. Why he ever started this cheap penny-ante building and loan, I'll never know. But neither you nor anybody else can say anything against his character. Because his whole life, why in the 25 years since he and Uncle Billy started the institution, he never once thought of himself or saved any money. But he did help a few people get out of your slums, Mr. Potter. And what's wrong with that? Just remember this. The rabble you're talking about, well, they do most of the working and paying and living and dying in this community. Well, is it too much to have them work and pay and live and die in a couple of decent rooms and a bath? My father didn't think so. People were human beings to him. But to you, a warped, frustrated old man, they're cattle. Well, in my book, my father died a much richer man than you'll ever be.
I'm not interested in your book, young man. I'm talking about the building and loan.
I know very well what you're talking about. You're talking about something you can't get your fingers on, and it's galling you. That's what you're talking about. Well, thank you for stopping by, Mr. Potter. I'll see you at the meeting.
But you're not on the board.
I hold my father's proxy so I can attend and cast a vote. You see, the way I look at it, Mr. Potter, the people of this town need our family's one-horse institution, if only to have someplace to go without crawling to you.
Get me out of here. No! You sentimental hogwash! I'm still gonna make my motion, young man, and we'll see who has the power in this town. Get me out of here. But you spoke eloquently at the board meeting and they voted Potter down, remember?
But on one condition I hadn't banked on.
That you take over your father's place. And you did. And you turned over your school money to your brother Harry and sent him to college.
And Harry became a football star. Made second team All-American.
And you? You got 4 years older.
That's for nothing.
Hello, Mom.
What are you doing? Wishing on you?
No, I've given up on that. Just getting some air.
Did you know that Mary Hatch is back from school?
Uh-huh.
Came back 3 days ago.
Hmm.
Nice. Praying that'll help you find the answers with George.
Can you give me one good reason why you shouldn't call on Mary Hatch?
Sure. Sam Wainwright. Sam's crazy about Mary.
She's not crazy about him.
Well, how do you know? Did she discuss it with you?
No.
Well, how do you know then?
I've got eyes, haven't I, George? Why, she lights up like a firefly whenever you're around.
Sure.
And besides, Sam Wainwright is all the way to New York, and
You are here. In Bedford Falls.
And all's fair in love and war?
I don't know about war.
You know, Mother, I can see right through you. Right to your back collar button. Trying to get rid of me, huh? Oh, well, here's your hat. What's your hurry? All right, Mother. Old building and loan pal, if you insist, I'll go out and find a girl and do a little passionate neck.
George.
No, if you'll just point me in the right direction.
George.
This direction. Good night, Mother.
Hello, Georgie Porgy.
Hello, Vi. How's business at the old-fashioned permanent wave shop?
Well, it's not a tidal wave yet, but I am getting some city mothers and thanks to you. What gives it you?
Nothing.
Well, where are you going?
We'll probably end up down at the library.
Georgie, don't you ever get tired of just reading about things?
Yes, I do. What are you doing tonight?
Well, not a thing.
Are you game, Vi? Let's make a night of it.
Oh, I love it, Georgie. What do we do?
Let's go out in the field and take off our shoes and walk through the grass.
Huh?
Then we can climb to the top of Mount Bedford, up to the falls and smell the pines and watch the sunrise against the peaks. And we'll stay up there the whole night, and everybody will be talking, and there'll be a terrific scandal.
Walk in the grass in my bare feet. George Bailey? Yeah. Have you gone crazy? And Mount Bedford. Who wants to climb all the way to the top of Mount Bedford? Oh, it's got to be a 10-mile hike at least.
It was just a crazy idea.
You're telling me. Good night, George.
Climb Mount Bedford myself. Could go see Mary. No, she doesn't want to see me. She doesn't want to see me.
Well, there you are.
Hello, Mary. I just happened to be passing by.
Yes, so I've noticed. Have you made up your mind?
How's that?
Have you made up your mind?
About what?
Paying a visit. Your mother phoned and said you were on your way over.
My mother called you? Well, how did she know?
Didn't you tell her?
I just went for a walk and happened to be passing by.
Well, would you like to come up on the porch and sit a minute?
Well, maybe just for a minute. But I want you to know that I didn't tell anybody I was coming over here. When'd you get back?
Tuesday.
Okay. Where'd you get that dress?
Do you like it?
It's okay. I thought you'd go back to New York like Sam and Ingy and the rest of them.
Well, I worked a couple of vacations there, but I don't know. I guess I was homesick.
Homesick? For Bedford Falls?
Yes, and my family and, everything. Aren't you coming out?
Well, Maybe just for a minute. But I want you to know I didn't tell anybody I was coming over here.
Would you rather leave?
No. I don't want to be rude.
Then come on up. Buffalo gals, can't you come out tonight?
Can't you come out tonight? Can't you come out tonight? Buffalo gals, can't you come out tonight? And dance by the light of the moon.
Mary? Mary, who's that down there with you? It's George Bailey, Mother.
George Bailey? What does he want?
I don't know. What do you want?
Me? Not a thing.
He's making violent love to me, Mother.
Well, you tell him to go right on home. And don't you leave the house either. Sam Wainwright promised to call you from New York tonight. He should be calling any minute now. There he is. Good night, George.
I better be going.
No, wait.
Mary, get the phone.
Hello? Sam, how are you? Guess who's here? George Bailey. George, it's Sam. He wants to talk to you.
Me?
Hurry, it's long distance.
Hello, Sam.
What? George Beliofsky. Hey, my pal, huh? What are you trying to do? Steal my girl?
What are you talking about, Sam? Nobody's trying to steal your girl. Here's Mary.
No? Wait a minute. I want to talk to both of you. Tell Mary to get on the extension.
He wants you to get on the extension.
Mother's on the extension. Now we can both hear. We're listening, Sam.
Well, I have a big plan coming up that's going to make us all very rich. Now, George, remember that night at Martini's bar where you told me you read someplace about making plastics out of soybeans?
Huh? Yeah, sure. Soybeans.
Well, Dad snapped up the idea. He's going to build a factory outside of Rochester. Oh, and here's the point. Mary, you're in on this too. Oh, and George, have you got any money?
Money? Yeah. Well, a little.
Well, now listen up. I want you to put every cent you've got into our stocks. Oh, and George, I may still have a job for you. That is, unless you're still married to that broken down building in love. This is the biggest Six Roots radio, and I'm letting you in on the ground level. Oh, and Mary,
I'm here.
will you tell that guy I'm giving him a chance of a lifetime? You hear? The chance of a lifetime.
He says it's the chance of a lifetime.
Now you listen to me. I don't want any plastics, I don't want any ground floors, and I don't want to get married. Ever. To anyone. You understand that? I want to do what I want to do. And you're... Oh, Mary.
George.
We hope you float away to happy land on the bubbles.
Oh. Well, look at this. Champagne.
Thank you, Ernie.
By the way, where are you two going on this here now honeymoon?
Where are we going? Now look at this. There's the kitty, Ernie. Here, come on. Count it, Mary.
I feel like a bootlegger's wife. Look.
You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna shoot the works. A whole week in New York, a whole week in Bermuda, the highest hotels, the oldest champagne, the richest caviar, the hottest music. And the prettiest wife.
That does it. Then what?
Then what, darling?
After that, who cares?
That does it. Come here.
Hate to break anything up, but there's something funny going on down at the bank. What? I've never really seen one before, but it has all the earmarks of a run. If you got any money, you better hurry.
You wait here. I'll be back in a minute, Mary.
George, please let's not stop. Let's go.
I'll be back in a minute. What's the meaning of this, Uncle Billy? A holiday?
This is what you call a pickle, George, a real pickle.
All right, now, what happened? How did it start?
How does anything like this ever start? All I know is the bank called our loan.
When?
About an hour ago. I had to hand in all our cash.
All of it?
Every cent of it. It was still less than we owe.
Holy mackerel.
The whole town's gone crazy.
Let him in. Mr. Potter, what do we owe this unexpected visit?
George, there's a rumor in town that you are going to close your doors early. Is that true?
Not for another 10 minutes. That's our regular closing time.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that. But George, are you all right? Do you want me to call the sheriff?
What for?
Well, mobs can get pretty ugly sometimes.
I'm sure all of our customers are very polite.
I'm sure. George, I'm going all out to help in this crisis. I've just guaranteed the bank sufficient funds to meet their needs. They'll close in a week and then reopen.
You've taken over the bank.
I may lose a fortune, yes, but I am willing to guarantee your people too. Ladies and gentlemen, just bring your shares over to the bank. I will pay you 50 cents on the dollar.
50 cents?
I'm sure that won't be necessary, Mr. Potter. We'll take care of our customers right here.
George, just don't close your doors before 6 p.m. or you will never reopen. Ladies, gentlemen, remember, 50 cents on the dollar.
You never miss a trick, do you, Potter? Well, you're going to miss this one. All right, now don't panic, folks. You heard Mr. Potter. The bank will open in a week.
But I've got my money here, George, and I'll take it now.
No, Miss Andrews, you're thinking of this place all wrong, as if I had the money back in the safe. The money's not here. Your money's in the Granger's house, right next to yours, and in the Kennedy house, and Mrs. Macklin's house, and 100 others. Why, you're lending them the money to build, and then they're going to pay it back to you as best they can. Now, what are you going to do, foreclose on them?
I've got $242 here, George Perry, and $242 is not going to break anybody.
All right, Miss Andrews, all right. Here you are. You sign this, you'll have your money in 60 days.
60
days? Well, now, that's what you agreed to when you bought your shares. Okay. Now, come on, Miss Andrews. Stick to your original agreement. Give us 60 days on this.
Are you going to go to Potter's?
Better to get half than nothing.
Miss Andrews, Mrs. Thompson, wait a minute, please. Now listen to me. If Potter gets hold of this building and loan, there'll never be another decent house built in this town. He's already got charge of the bank. He's got the bus line. He's got the department stores. And now he's after us. Why? Because we're cutting in on his business. That's why. And because he wants to keep you living in his slums and paying the kind of rent he decides. Well, we can't let him. We can get through this thing, but we've got to stick together. Oh, we've got to have faith in each other.
But my husband hasn't worked in over a year, and I need money.
How am I going to live until the bank reopens?
We've got doctor bills to pay.
Yes, George, I need cash.
Can't feed my kids on faith.
Barry, how much do you need?
That's right. I've got $2,000. Here's $2,000. This will tide us over till the bank reopens. All right, Miss Andrews, how much do you need?
$242.
Oh, now, Miss Andrews, just enough to tide you over.
I'll take $242.
All right. There you are.
That's for close my account.
Your account is still here. That's just a loan. Okay. All right. Ernie, how much you need?
I got $300 here, George.
Oh, now, Ernie, what'll it take till the bank reopens? What do you need?
Well, I suppose $20.
$20. Now you're talking. Fine. Thanks, Ernie. All right. Mrs. Thompson, how much do you want?
But it's your money, George.
Oh, never mind about that. How much do you want?
So I can get by with 20, all right?
$20.
And I'll sign a paper.
You don't have to sign anything. I know you'll pay it back when you can. That's okay. All right. Mrs. Martini, how much you want?
Can we have 17 of it?
A 17 of 50. Mwah! Bless your heart. Of course you can have it. Do you have 50 cents? Here, you take over. Hello, Mrs. Bailey.
Hello, Mr. Bailey. How's business?
Booming.
Well, at least you have a place to come home to. Most of the windows are broken out and the roof leaks in a place or two. But the structure's sound and there isn't a crack in the foundation.
What are you talking about?
32 Sycamore.
32 Sycamore. But that's the...
Remember the night we broke the windows out? That's what I wished for and I've been saving ever since. Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary. We've only been married an hour.
1 hour, 29 minutes, and 40 some odd seconds to be exact. Soon enough to celebrate, I would say. Wouldn't you?
Oh, darling, you're wonderful.
Bingo! We made it, George. We're still in business. We have $2 left.
Oh, well, pop open the champagne. I'd say we're a couple of financial wizards.
Those Rockefellers.
Open the safe for these great, big, important Somalians.
We'll save and proceed.
Here's to Papa Dollar and to Mama Dollar. And if you want the old building and loan to stay in business, you better have a family real quick.
I wish they were rabbits.
That's great, Aunt Tilly. Did you hear that, Uncle Billy? Rabbits. Here's to the rabbits.
The rabbits!
Bread, that this house may never know hunger. And salt, that life may always have flavor.
And wine, that joy and prosperity may reign forever. Enter the Martini Castle.
Grazie.
Anymore, Mr. Potter. Cutting deeper and deeper into your rental pocket.
The Bailey family has been a boil on my neck long enough.
Mr. Bailey has just arrived, sir.
Good. Tell them to wait. Go on.
As you know, he's built up a whole subdivision out next to the cemetery. Dozens and dozens of the prettiest little homes you've ever saw. I'm thinking seriously of purchasing one myself.
Don't you dare.
The point is, Mr. Potter, 90% of the residents used to pay rent to you. Now, if I were you, Mr. Potter...
Well, Carter. I haven't got time for idle conjuncture. Good day. Cut it to my revenue, will you? We'll show you a trick or two, Mr. Bailey.
Yes, sir.
Send Bailey in.
Right away, sir.
Mr. Bailey, Mr. Potter will see you now.
Thank you.
Good morning, George. So glad to see you again.
Mr. Potter, this is quite an unusual request.
What's that?
You're calling to ask me to pay you a visit?
I don't know what's so unusual about it. I just thought the two of us should get better acquainted. Here, have a cigar.
This is quite the cigar.
You like it? I'll send you a box.
Well, I suppose I'll find out sooner or later. But just what exactly did you want to see me about?
That's what I like so much about you. George, I'm an old man, and most people hate me. But I don't like them either, so that makes it all even. You know as well as I do, I practically run everything in this town but the Bailey building alone. And you also know, for a number of years, I've been trying to control it, or kill it. But I haven't been able to. You've been stopping me, George. In fact, you've beaten me. And ask anyone in this county, that takes some doing. Take, for instance, the Depression. You and I were the only ones who kept our heads. You saved the building alone, and I saved all the rest.
Yes. Well, most people say you stole all the rest.
The envious ones, George, the suckers. Now, I've stated my side very frankly. Let's look at your side. Young man, 27, 28, married, making, say, 40 a week.
45.
45. 45. Out of which supporting your wife and your mother, and after paying your bills, you are able to keep, say, 10. If you skimp, a child or two comes along, and you won't even be able to save 10. Now, this young man of 28, or a common ordinary yokel, I'd say he was doing fine. But George Bailey is not a common ordinary yokel. He's an intelligent, ambitious, smart young man who hates his job, who hates the building alone almost as much as I do. A young man who's been dying to get out of this town ever since he was born. A young man, the smartest one of the crowd, mind you. A young man who has to sit by, watch his friends go places because he is trapped. Trapped, I tell you, into frittering his life away, playing nursemaid to lots of garlic eaters. Now, do I paint a correct picture, or do I exaggerate?
Now, what's your point, Mr. Potter?
My point? My point is I want to hire you.
Hire me?
Yes, I want you to manage my affairs, run my properties. George, I will start you out at $20,000 a year.
20,000 a year.
Yes! You wouldn't mind living in the nicest house in town, buying your wife a lot of fine clothes, a couple business trips to New York, maybe once in a while to Europe. You wouldn't mind that, would you, George?
Would I? You're not, no, you're not talking to somebody else around here, are you? You know, this is me. You remember me, George Bailey?
Ah, yes, George Bailey, whose ship has just come in, provided he has enough brains to climb aboard.
Well, what about the building and loan?
Ah, confound it, man. Are you afraid of success? I'm offering you a 3-year contract, starting at $20,000 a year. Now, is it a deal or isn't it?
Well, Mr. Potter, I know I ought to jump at the chance, but I wonder if it would be possible for you to give me 24 hours to think it over.
Oh, sure. Go on home. Talk it over with your wife.
I'd like to do that.
In the meanwhile, I'll drop the papers.
All right, sir.
Okay, George.
Okay, Mr. Potter. No. No. No, no, no. Wait a minute here. I don't have to talk to anybody. I know right now and the answer is no. No! Doggone it. Oh, you sit around here and you spin your little webs and you think the whole world revolves around you and your money. Well, it doesn't, Mr. Potter. In the whole vast configuration of things, I'd say you were nothing but a scurvy little spider. And you, that goes for you too. And it goes for you too. Have a nice day. Oh, hello.
Been a rough day?
No, Mr. Potter and the cigars and the $20,000. Oh.
Buffalo gals, can't you come out tonight? Can't you come out tonight? Can't you come out tonight? Buffalo gals, can't you come out tonight? And dance by the light of the moon.
Mary Hatch, why in the world did you ever marry a guy like me?
To keep from being an old maid.
You could have married Sam Wainwright or anybody else in town.
I didn't want to marry anybody else in town. I want my baby to look like you.
You didn't even have a proper honeymoon. Look, I promise... You're what?
My baby.
You mean Mary? Are you on the nest?
In a manner of speaking.
What is it, a boy or a girl?
Yes.
Oh.
You were on top of the world then. George Bailey. Couldn't have been happier.
That was nearly 10 years ago. We've gone through a war since then.
Yes, and since then, your wife has given birth to not one, but 4 beautiful children. And your brother, Harry, has been decorated with the Congressional Medal of Honor. President decorates Harry Bailey.
That was the headline in this morning's paper.
That's right. This morning, George, 10 a.m., day before Christmas, you were out buying a Christmas wreath.
Extra!
And Uncle Billy, oh yes, Uncle Billy was on his way to the bank.
Read all about it. Local boy wins Congressional Medal of Honor. Harry Bailey to be decorated by the president.
Give me one of those.
Like one, sir? No, all right.
One of them Bailey boys again.
Good morning, Mr. Potter. What's the news? Well, well, well. Harry Bailey wins Congressional Medal. That couldn't be one of the Bailey boys, could it? You just can't keep those Baileys down. Now can you, Mr. Potter?
How does Slacker George feel about this?
Very jealous? Oh, yes, very jealous. He only lost 3 buttons off his vest. Of course, George would have won 2 of those medals if he had been allowed to go.
I know. He has a bad ear.
That's right. After all, Mr. Potter, some men like George had to stay home. Not every heel was in Germany and Japan.
Give me my paperback. Buy your own if you want to drool over it.
'Tis the season to be jolly.
Wait. Yes. Take me straight to the bank. 'Tis the season to be jolly. Ha 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 ha.
Extra, extra, read all about it.
George, it's Harry on long distance from Washington.
Harry, what do you know about that?
He reversed the charges. It's okay, isn't it?
What do you mean, is it okay? For a hero? Harry, you old seven kinds of a son of a gun. Congratulations. How's Mother standing it? She did? What do you know? Mother had lunch with the president's wife.
Wait till Bill hears about this. What do they have to eat?
What do they have to eat? Oh, Harry, you should see what they're cooking up in the town for you. Oh, are they? The Navy's gonna fly Mother home this afternoon.
In a plane?
What? Uncle Billy. Has Uncle Billy come in yet?
No, he stopped by at the bank first.
He's not here right now, Harry, but look.
George.
Oh, now tell me all about it.
George, that woman's here again.
What woman?
The bank examiner.
Oh. Talk to Aunt Tilly again for a minute, will you? I'll be right back. Oh, hello, Vi.
George, can I talk to you for a minute?
Why, of course you can. Just step into my office. I'll be right there. Good morning, Miss...
Carter, bank examiner.
Miss Carter, bank examiner. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
We're all excited around here. My brother just got the Congressional Medal of Honor. The president just decorated him.
Well, I guess they do those things. I trust you had a good year.
Good year. Well, between you and me, Miss Carter, we're broke.
Very funny.
Yes, well, step right this way, Miss Carter.
Although I shouldn't question when you okay reverse charges on personal calls.
George, shall I hang up?
No, he wants to talk to Uncle Billy. You just hold on.
Now, if you'll cooperate, I'd like to be finished with you by tonight. I want to spend Christmas in Elmira with my sister and her family.
I don't blame you at all, Miss Carter. Just step right in there. My uncle has everything all laid out for you.
Hurry, Uncle Billy, hurry. It's Harry on long distance from Washington.
Not now. I can't talk to anyone now.
But it's your nephew Harry, remember? Here's your Uncle Billy, Harry.
Hello? Hello. Yes. Harry. Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
That was Harry, long distance, Washington. You're fast, George.
Mr. Bailey?
Yes?
Oh, another Mr. Bailey. Well, you'll do just fine. Possibly better. Can I see you in a moment, please? I have some questions.
Yes, I'll be there in a moment. Where's George?
In his office with Violet Peterson?
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I need to see him as soon as he gets out.
Now.
Character? If I had any character, George.
It takes a lot of character to leave your hometown and start all over again.
No, George, don't.
Here now, you're broke, aren't you?
Yeah.
What do you want to do? Hawk your furs in that hat? Want to walk to New York? You know, they charge for meals and rent up there just the same as they do in Bedford Falls.
I know, but...
It's a loan. That's my business. Building and loan. Besides, he'll get a job. Good luck to you.
I'm glad to know you, George Bailey.
Say hello to New York for me.
Yeah. Yeah, sure I will.
And let's hear from you. Oh, what's the matter? Merry Christmas, Vi.
Merry Christmas, George.
Mr. Bailey, there seems to be a problem.
A problem? How do you mean?
George, can I speak to you for a moment alone?
Uncle Billy, what is it?
Oh, George.
What?
Is that your bad ear?
No,
Then you did hear me.
I'm afraid so. How much? That much? Now look, did you buy anything?
No, nothing. Not even a stick of gum.
Are you sure you had the money with you?
Yes, I was counting it, I think.
You think? Uncle Billy, we've got to find that money.
I'm no good to you, George.
Listen, do you have any secret hiding places in your house? Some place to put it. Some place to hide the money.
No, nothing like that.
Listen to me. Think.
I have been thinking, George. I have, and I can't think anymore. It hurts.
Now you listen to me. Where's that money, you stupid, silly old fool? Where's the money? Do you realize what this means? It means bankruptcy and scandal and prison.
No.
Oh, yes, that's what it means. One of us is going to jail, and it's not going to be me. So come on.
Yes, Daddy, did you bring the Christmas wreath?
Wreath? What wreath?
The Christmas wreath for the window?
No, I left it at the office.
Is it snowing?
Yeah, just started.
Where's your coat and hat?
Left them at the office.
George, what's the matter?
Nothing's the matter. Everything's all right.
Isn't it wonderful about Harry, George? I bet I had 50 calls today about the parade, the banquet. Your mother's...
Must she keep playing that?
She's practicing for the party tonight, Daddy.
Oh, Daddy, Mommy says we can stay up till midnight and sing Christmas carols. Sing. Daddy, look, the Browns next door have a new car. Have you seen it?
What's the matter with our car? Isn't it good enough for you?
Yes, Daddy.
Better hurry and shave, George. The families will be here soon.
Families? I don't want the families over here. Suzu! Oh, what's the matter with you?
Oh, she's caught a cold. Got it coming home from school. They gave her a flower surprise, and she didn't want to crush it, so she didn't button up her coat. Go to bed, darling.
I have to give my flower a drink.
What do you have, Zuzu? A sore throat or what?
Just a cold. The doctor says it's nothing serious.
The doctor? Was the doctor here?
Yes, I called him right away. He says it's nothing to worry about.
Well, are you running a temperature, little one?
I don't think so.
Just a teensy one, 99.6. She'll be all right.
Better get back upstairs. This floor is cold, Zuzu.
My flower needs a drink.
Now!
Go along, darling. I'll bring up water with a vase in a minute.
No. It's this old house. I don't know why we all don't have pneumonia. This drafty old barn might as well be living in a refrigerator. Why did we have to live here in the first place and stay around this measly, crummy old town?
George, what's wrong?
Daddy, how do you spell hallelujah?
I don't know. Ask your mother.
Hello? Yes, this is Mrs. Bailey. Oh, thank you, Mrs. Welch. I'm so glad you called. The doctor said she ought to be out of bed in time to have her Christmas dinner.
Is that Zuzu's teacher?
Yes.
Let me speak to her. Hello? Hello, Mrs. Welch? This is George Bailey. I'm Zuzu's father. Say, what kind of a teacher are you anyway? What do you mean sending her home like that half naked? Do you realize she'll probably end up with pneumonia on account of you? Is this the sort of thing we pay taxes for? To have teachers like you? Silly, stupid, careless people who send our kids home without any clothes on. You know, maybe my kids aren't the best dressed kids. Maybe they don't have any decent clothes at all. That's stupid.
Hello, Mrs. Welch. I want to apologize. Hello? She's hung up.
Oh, I'll hang her up. I'll get it. Hello? Hello, who is this? Oh, Mr. Welch. I'm so glad you called. Gives me a chance to tell you what I really think of your wife.
George!
What? Oh, you will, huh? Okay, Mr. Welch, anytime you think you're man enough. Hello? He hung up.
Daddy, how do you spell Frankie?
I don't know. What do you think I am, a dictionary? Janie! Haven't you learned that silly tune yet? You've played it over and over again. Now stop it. Just stop it. I'm in trouble, Mr. Potter. I need help. Through some sort of an accident, my company shortened their accounts. The bank examiner's up there today. I've got to raise $8,000 immediately.
Oh, so that's what the reporters wanted to talk to you about.
The reporters?
Yes. Oh, there's a man from the DA's office, too. He wants to talk to you.
Please help me, Mr. Potter. Help me, won't you please? Can't you see what it means to my family? I'll pay you any sort of bonus on the loan, any interest. If you still want the building and loan, why, I'm sure that I can.
George, are you sure there's not a slight discrepancy in the books?
No, sir. There's nothing wrong with the books. I've just misplaced $8,000.
You misplaced $8,000?
Yes, sir.
Have you notified the police?
No, sir. I didn't want the publicity. Harry's homecoming tomorrow, it just would have ruined.
They're going to believe that one. What have you been doing, George? Playing the market with the company's money?
No, sir, I haven't.
Then what is it? Oh, woman men. You know it's all over town that you've been giving money to Violet Peterson.
What?
Not that it makes any difference to me. But why did you come to me, George? Why didn't you go to Sam Wainwright and ask him for the money?
I can't get a hold of him. He's in Europe.
Well, what about all your other friends?
They don't have that kind of money, Mr. Potter. You know that. You're the only one in town that can help me.
I see. I've suddenly become quite important. What securities would I have, George? Have you any stocks?
No, sir.
Bonds? Real estate? Collateral of any kind?
I have some life insurance. $15,000 policy.
Yes. How much is your equity in it?
$500.
Look at you. You used to be so cocky. You were going to go out and conquer the world. You once called me a warped, frustrated old man. But what are you but a warped, frustrated young man? A miserable little clerk crawling on his hands and knees begging for help. No stocks, no bonds, no collateral of any kind. Nothing but a miserable little $500 equity and life insurance policy. You're worth more dead than alive. Why don't you go to the riffraff you love so much and ask them for the money? Do you know why? Because they'd run you out of town on a rail. But I'll tell you what I'm going to do for you, George. As stockholder of the building and loan, and since the state examiner is still here, I'm going to swear out a warrant for your arrest. Misappropriation of funds.
No.
Manipulation.
No.
And malfeasance.
No.
All right, George, go on. But you can't hide in a little town like this.
Oh, God. You've got to help me out here.
God rest ye merry gentlemen, let nothing you dismay. Remember
George! George Bailey!
Come on, join us!
Not tonight, Mr. Martini.
Wait a minute. Did he just call you George Bailey?
Just one time.
George Bailey. What are the magic in the you talk my wife like that, you'll get worse.
Oh, she cried for nearly an hour and wouldn't even come out with us tonight.
That's enough, Mr. Welch. That's enough.
No, it isn't enough. She slates teaching your stupid kid how to read and write. You have to go and ball her.
Mr. Welch!
Forget it. I'm going home.
Come on, everybody. It's a Christmas Eve. We're supposed to be spreading good cheer.
Yes, aren't we going to sing anymore?
Of course we are. Come on, everybody.
Are you all right, George?
Sure.
You want me to take you home?
No, please. I'll be fine. I'm waiting for someone. One of your friends.
You sure?
Where's my insurance policy?
What?
Just leave me alone, Ernie. Please, leave me alone.
Ernie, are you coming? I'll be right there. You sure you'll be all right, George?
I'm sure, Ernie. Thank you.
Well then, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. God, dear Father in heaven, I'm not a praying man, but if you're up there, and if you can hear me, show me the way. I'm at the end of my rope. Show me the way, God.
I thought you were going up tonight. Oh, whatever.
George? George?
And that's where I came in.
You mean you actually heard my prayer up there?
Yours and over a dozen others. You would be surprised how many people are concerned about you.
Not after they find out that I've ruined their lives.
But you haven't ruined their lives, George. Besides, it wasn't your fault.
I'm the president of the company. I'm the one to be held accountable. Ask Mr. Potter. He'll tell you.
And you still think killing yourself would make everyone feel happier?
Oh, I don't know. I suppose it would have been better if I'd just never been born at all.
What did you say?
I said I wish I'd never been born.
Oh, you mustn't talk like that. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. That's an idea. What do you think? Yeah, that'll do it. All right. You've got your wish. You've never been born. You don't have to make all that fuss about it.
What did you say?
You've never been born. You don't exist. Haven't a care in the world. No worries. No obligations. No $8,000 to get. No Potter looking for you with the sheriff.
Say something else in that ear.
Sure, you can hear out of it.
Well, that's the doggonedest thing. I haven't heard anything out of that ear since I was a kid. What's going on here?
Wish you a Merry Christmas. Wish you a Merry Christmas.
Hey, so come in there. Let's do more suckers. Let's sing to them.
Dominic?
That is my name. And this is my poison. Yeah, what's up?
Mr. Martini, don't you recognize me?
Hey, Dominic. He knows your name. Oh, now we have to sing. Oh, yeah. Now,
Where's your wife? Where's Mrs. Martini?
She's a home. They're all home. And that makes it a merry Christmas. Doesn't it, gents?
But I saw her just a minute ago. Her and lots of women and children, too.
Wait a minute. What are you talking about? Wait, you're about snitch on us, aren't you? Yeah.
Wait a minute. I know you. You hit me just a minute ago.
I did. Hey, did you hear that? I already hit this guy. Oh, did it hurt? Here, let me try again. Leave the sucker alone. Oh. He's doing something weird. So bring us a biggie pudding. Bring us a biggie pudding. Bring us a biggie pudding.
Here comes that panhandler again. He's caught up with us again.
Let's get down to fear. Oh, come on. Let me hit him first. Now, I promise I won't forget this time.
When you got a dime or two you can spare? Or a drink? I'll settle for a drink.
Oh.
Mr. Gower, don't you remember me?
Come on, I tell you, I don't think I'm messing around with that guy.
You own the corner drugstore and I used to work for you when I was a kid. Don't you remember?
Now I know I don't like you. That drumhead spent 20 years in prison for poisoning a kid. That's right, and you know him. You must be a never yourself. Come on, let's get down to beer.
Mr. Gower.
Yes. George, wait a minute. Yes.
See, George, you were not there to stop Gower.
What do you mean I wasn't there? I remember distinctly. Look, who are you?
I told you, George, I'm your guardian angel.
Oh, but I don't get it.
It's what you asked for. It's what you wanted. Don't you see? It's all because you were not born.
Not born?
That's right.
Well, if I wasn't born, then who am I?
You're nobody. You have no identity.
What do you mean, no identity? My name is George Bailey. I was born July 12th, 1907, right here in Bedford Falls.
You won't find any public record of it. Besides, this isn't Bedford Falls anymore. It's Pottersville.
Pottersville? No. No.
I'm afraid so. And there is no George Bailey. Never has been. You see, George, you've been given a great gift. A chance to see what the world would be like without you.
Bert, what are you doing with those guys? Bert! Violet?
That's what they call me.
Oh, am I glad to see you.
I'm glad to see you too. Are you new in town? Who gave you my name?
I'm George.
Of course you are. If anyone asks, I've never seen or even heard of you.
But you have. I'm George Bailey. We grew up together.
I don't think so good looking, but I sure wish we had.
Violet, you've got to remember.
I've got all night. You want to tell me about it?
Sure. Your name is Violet Peterson. You were born in 1910. No, wait a minute, 1911. And you graduated right here from the local high school.
Wait a minute. What are you, some sort of private eye? I should have known. Don't you guys ever give it a rest? It's Christmas Eve, for God's sake.
Violet, you've got to understand.
Oh, I understand. Well, see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. That's my motto. So give it a rest and get out of here.
Violet.
Or I'll make a phone call, Georgia. Whatever your name is. Merry Christmas.
You get your hands off of her. Boarding house? What's going on here?
Well, if you're looking for a room, I haven't got any vacancy.
No. Wait a minute. Please. I'm lost and I need to sort things out. Please let me in.
I told you. I haven't got any vacancy. Besides, I don't take strangers in unless they're referred by someone. Try over on Maple Street, 163 Maple.
I know your brother-in-law, Billy.
How do you know him?
I've seen him around.
When? When did you see him around?
Today. Over at his house.
That's a lie. He's been in the state asylum over the past 3 years, ever since he lost his business.
Harry. Your son. Harry.
My only son broke through the ice and drowned at the age of 9.
No! He's alive. He went to war and got the Congressional Medal of Honor. He's a hero and he's coming home tomorrow. No. No, he's alive. I just talked to him.
Strange, isn't it? Each man's life touches so many other lives. And when he isn't around, he leaves an awful hole, doesn't he?
He saved the lives of every man on that transport. It was headlines in all the newspapers.
Every man on that transport died. Harry wasn't there to save them because you were not there to save Harry. You see, George, you really had a wonderful life. Don't you see what a mistake it would be to throw it all away?
Mrs. Hatch? Clarence?
Yes, George?
Where's Mary?
Oh, well, I don't
think...
think...
you know where she is, tell me.
You're not going to like it, George.
Tell me where she is. Is she alive?
Yes, she's alive.
Did she...
But she never married. But she's not the Mary you know. Something happened.
Mary?
There must be some easier way for me to get my wings.
Mary.
Who are you? What do you want?
It's me, George. Don't you know me?
Get away from me.
Mary.
Scream.
Mary, what happened to us?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Mary, look at me. I'm George. I'm your husband, George.
Don't touch me. Help! Somebody, please don't touch me. I can't stand it. If you touch me, leave me alone.
Mary! Mary! Clarence! 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 Help me, Clarence! Get me back! Get me back! I don't care what happens to me. Only get me back to my wife and my kids. Help me, Clarence. Please. Please! I want to live again. I want to live! George! Clarence! George! What are you doing? What's the matter? I didn't do anything to her, honest.
What are you talking about? What in the Sim Hill are you yelling for, George?
George? Bert, do you know me?
Are you kidding? I've been all over trying to find you. How many times I'm looking for you?
Mary! Mary! Zuzu's petals!
Yeah, Mary. So did Martini. And your Billy. Even your mother called. What is going on, George?
What's going on? Why, look around you, Bert. It's breathing. It's moving. It's alive. Mary! Bert! Oh. I'm fine. Honestly, I'm fine. Mary! Mary! Oh, hello, Miss Bank Examiner.
Mr. Bailey, you have a deficit we must talk about.
Oh, yes, isn't it wonderful? Mwah! Merry Christmas. Where's Mary? Mary? Oh, look at this wonderful drafty old hat. Mary! Oh, have you seen my wife? You wonderful kids. I can eat you up. Daughter, where's your mother?
She's looking for you, Uncle Billy.
Oh.
George Billy!
Oh, hallelujah. Oh, Mary, let me touch you. Oh, you're real.
George, where have you been?
Oh, you have no idea what happened to me.
You have no idea what happened. George, come stand right over here, and don't move. I can hear them. They're coming. It's a miracle. It's a miracle. Come in, everybody. Come in, Uncle Billy. Come in first.
Isn't it wonderful, George? Mary did it. She told a few people you were in trouble, and they scattered all over town to collect your money. They didn't ask any questions, just said, if George is in trouble, count on me. You never saw anything like it. What is this, George? Another run on the bank?
You can say that.
Oh, goodness.
I wouldn't have a roof of a man if it wasn't for you, George. Merry Christmas!
Thank you.
Glad to, George. Anytime for you, Mr. Bailey.
I made the round. All my charge accounts, George.
Thank you, Mr. Gower.
Excuse me! Excuse me! I decided not to go, George. I changed my mind!
Now quiet, everybody, quiet. This is from London.
Mr. Gower cables you need cash. Stop. I've instructed my office to advance you $25,000. Stop. Merry Christmas, Sam Wainwright.
Oh.
Glory to the newborn King. Peace on earth and mercy found. Sinners reconciled. Joyful all ye nations rise. Join the triumph.
Wow. Looks like I got here just in time. Anybody got wine, champagne? I'd like to make a toast.
Hey!
Yes, you would. Aha. To my big brother George, the richest man in town. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot. Some crazy little man handed me this at the airport. Made me promise I'd hand it to you personally.
Tom Sawyer? Who would give you a beat-up copy of Tom Sawyer?
Dear George,
Remember, no man is a failure who has friends. Thanks for the wings.
love Clarence.
Clarence? Who's Clarence? You met him.
A Christmas present from a very dear friend of mine. Just like all of you. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas.
Listen, Daddy. Hear the bell? Teacher says every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings.
Oh, that's right. Oh, that's right. Attaboy, Clarence.
Acquaintance before